Cleanup continues in Toronto today after torrential rain and flooding had the city at a standstill. Some businesses have reopened already. Others are dealing with the damages. This is the aftermath for a Toronto food bank. They're asking their community for help after rain flooded their main warehouse, causing expensive damage to their food products and equipment that they use to service around 25,000 people every month. And for more on this, I'd like to bring in Ryan Noble. He is the Executive Director of North York Harvest Food Bank. We've reached him in Toronto. So thank you for making the time, Ryan. First of all, what kind of damage was left behind as a result of Tuesday's storm?
Well, we had a series of incidents that sort of compounded upon each other. So when the rain first started to come down quite forcefully, we weren't able to pump out our loading docks where our trucks are parked as quickly as the rain was accumulating. And so that caused some damage to some of our vehicles. Then it also started to pool on our roof, and that started to leak through, which caused some damage to our roof and ultimately to our freezer and cooler. And we were dealing with that when the power went out. And because the power was out for such a long period of time, and because it was so hot and so humid, the temperatures in our walk-in refrigerator got too high for us to safely distribute food because it had been too warm for too long of a period of time. So what was really difficult was we ended up losing and having to discard a number of pallets of really high quality food, perishable proteins like milk and eggs, cheese, chicken, and beef. And so quite a lot of food needed to be discarded, and we'll now need to purchase that food to replace that lost inventory.
That is extensive damage. What was your reaction when you saw how much damage there was?
Well, as I said, it started off with pooling water in the loading bay, and then it went to the roof, and then it went to the coolers, and then it went to the food itself. So it was sort of a cascade throughout the entire day. And it's particularly the amount of food is quite heartbreaking, because once you have lost that food, then it's gone, and that's food that could have been helping people in our community, today.
Exactly. And, 25,000 people depend on you to help put food on the table at a time when most are struggling with the cost of living. Are there plans in place to ensure that food support is still available to the community?
Well, I'm really proud of our team and our community and all of the supporters, who make up North York Harvest Food Bank, because we've seen people, step forward and do what they can. And we were able to maintain our deliveries on Tuesday. We were able to maintain our deliveries yesterday. But I think, to your broader point about maintaining the food supply, I think what this really shows is just how fragile the network of food banks really is to deal with the crisis that we're seeing. So, we saw an acute shock earlier this week, but we've been dealing with a chronic crisis of food insecurity and poverty in this city for years now. And it's really stretched that entire network. So we're, as you mentioned, are the distribution hub. We distribute food to a number of different agencies all across the northwest of the city. A lot of those agencies, got hit just as hard or worse, where, I'm aware of one where their entire storage room was flooded. So, when you have a network that's as stretched as the food banking system is, and you get an acute shock like this, you see really how fragile, how delicate, and how insufficient it is to deal with the crisis that we've been, as I said, dealing with for a number of years now.
A challenge on top of another challenge. Mr. Noble, what kind of support and resources are you hoping to receive from the City of Toronto?
Well, I'll speak, if you're, a member of the community who can help us or help your local food bank, everything counts, and we could really use that support. So if you're in a position to make a financial donation, you can go onto our website and find, links to be able to do that. If you're in a position to make you can always donate non-perishable products at fire halls and grocery stores. And again, you can find that information out on our website. But I think if you're a policymaker or a politician at any level of government, I hope that this incident, puts you on notice, if you haven't been already, that what we're dealing with is not good enough. We can't run our organization this way. 1 in 10 Torontonians went to a food bank last year. We can't run our city this way either. So what we really need to see is the types of long-term solutions, things like affordable housing, reforms to income supports, better minimum wages, so that people can have a sustainable livelihood and don't need to turn to a food bank in the first place.
Okay, and coming back to today, assessing the damage and cost, when do you expect North York Harvest to be back to normal?
We're in the process of repairing right now. So trucks are going out and being serviced. We had people repairing the roof yesterday, and that'll continue today. Our freezer and fridge repairs are ongoing as well, and we'll be purchasing food within the next couple of days. And as I said, we've been able to maintain our deliveries to our agencies, but that food that has been lost is food that won't be replaced. And well, it'll be replaced, but that opportunity is lost, and people have lost out on that support. So we'll bounce back, and we're in the process of doing so. But we're going to continue to be dealing with a crisis that's really alarming.
And as you mentioned earlier, Ryan, it is a heartbreak, but good luck in bouncing back and getting back to normal. And thank you for your time this morning. Ryan Noble is the Executive Director of North York Harvest Food Bank.
Thanks, Renee.